my name is Anna Benzel. Welcome back to my channel. I am here doing this LeetCode problem set, and I am on question number 61, which is rotate list. The solution is in Python. And as I've mentioned before in other videos, but if you're new here, welcome. I did these solutions while I was on a 3-week vacation, and I had a horrible time trying to live code them and trying to configure everything. Long story, we are just going through the solution today. So let's look at the submission that I did on the 15th of September. It actually was really good, all things considered. And for my memory, I beat 72% of users who use Python. Or I'm sorry, for my runtime, I beat 72% of users who use Python. And then here for memory, I beat 91% of users who use Python. So I feel very nice about the solution. However, like anything can be improved. So let's go ahead and jump into this solution. Now, you guys are more than welcome to read this question on your own time. I am not going to go through it for the sake of this video, and I definitely recommend going through it. It was a super helpful problem, and it was great for me to try to get back into the swing of things. Anyway, long story. Let's go over the summary of this. So we are in this code performing a right rotation on a singly linked list by calculating the length of the list. So we find a new head node and break the circular reference to create a valid rotated linked list. And when I say that this is a good refresher for me is because I did a similar solution to this when I was doing a certification or like a coding bootcamp certification thing. And I did not do as well. So it was nice to give myself this refresher on how to do this. So let's go ahead and jump into this code. We first check two conditions. If not head, which basically is if the input linked list is empty, so head is none, it returns head itself because there's nothing to rotate. And then we have if k equals 0 is basically just if k is equal to 0, it also returns the head because there is no need to perform any rotation. So we just nicked those two things, which I do think helped tremendously with the runtime of this. We then initialized this variable length to 1 and a current pointer to the head of the linked list. And that just is like, for these variables in particular, we use them to calculate that linked list, which is how we start entering this loop to traverse the linked list and calculate its length. And that just continues until the current next becomes none, incrementing the length and moving the current to the next node of each iteration. So after that loop, we calculate k, and that step ensures that k is reduced to the value less than the length of the linked list, which is the equivalent to rotating the list by that k% length position. So if k becomes 0 after the modo operation, it means that the list doesn't need to be rotated. So for this case in particular, it returns the head as it becomes, or because there's no rotation that could be performed loosely. So if k is not 0, it calculates that index of the new head node after rotation. So the new head node index is length minus k. We then use this to connect the current tail node of the linked list to the original head node, effectively creating a circular linked list. So it then will update the current pointer to the head, and up from that linked list, it'll iterate through the linked list using a loop, which in this case is denoted as new head index minus 1 times, and we will just, for that loop, move the current pointer to the node just before the new head node. So after finding the new head node, it sets new head to current next, which is the new head node, and it breaks that circular reference by setting current next to none, indicating the end of the rotation of the linked list. So we will then just return new head to just say that the new head node of the linked list after that rotation, and that's what we're going for. So I hope that makes some sort of sense. And when I originally did this in this like code camp thing, I had done a couple different solutions. I don't want to go into them now. I'm sure I could actually find the old submissions. for this, but one of my big downfalls of the original code that I had written of a similar thing is I did not have a pointer and I wasn't updating it correctly. So I was super happy to see the submission actually, first off, get accepted, and second, do so well. So yeah, I think this is a pretty decent solution. But as always, I have this code in the GitHub repo link down in the video description, and you guys are more than welcome to fork and clone, and you can make it better, and you can make it worse, and you can have some fun, and you can learn something new. But whatever you do, let me know, because I definitely want to see how you guys approach this problem. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.